If you've been following me on social media, you've seen me riding the Sabfoil Razor Pro 975 for a while now. Today we're going to talk about it. Let's go. Thanks so much for joining us today. We have an exciting one. We are going to talk about the Sabfoil Razor Pro 975, which I've been riding for a while. Now, if you are interested, it is available at wingfoilprocenter.com, and if you get it there, it supports us, so thank you so much. But it's also important to say, I am not sponsored by Sabfoil, and I am not an ambassador for Sabfoil, so this is totally independent review. I have absolutely no obligation to make this video, and I think it's important to say because I'm like literally just sharing my honest opinion, so hopefully it helps you in your choice. So I've been riding the 975 Razor Pro for a while now. You've probably seen me on my social media for a few months. Finally we're going to talk about it today, so I've put tons of hours on it, and if you haven't seen my review of the 980 Razor, I'm going to put it somewhere here so you can check it out. It's still a great foil. I spent so much time also on this one, but lately, I've been transitioning to the 975. So when I first got the 975, I really love the 980. So I was for sure a bit scared that the change would mess it up in a bad way. Absolutely not. It's still a great foil. So if you look at it, they are like very similar in shape. Now the main difference is the 980 has a much thicker profile. So of course, when you're gonna try the 975, you're gonna realize right away that it's much faster than the 980. So it definitely gained on top speed. And what I love about the 980 was the low end and how easy it was to get up, either in light wind, winging, or just even downwind subfoiling. So for sure, the 975 has compromised a tiny bit on the low end, but not as much as you would expect in comparison to how much it gained on the high end. So to me, the low end of the 975 is still something incredible, and that's the main reason I love it. Now, where the 980 to me used to be maybe more like lighter wind and just like light conditions, tiny waves, because it had such a great low end that would almost be compared to like a 1300 or 1500 of most other foils. It didn't have a great top end at all, so I only use it for very light wind. Now the 975 still remains a great low end, but the increased high end allows me to ride it in much more condition. So to me, it's kind of like the foil. If I had to keep one foil, it could absolutely be this one, and I would be happy in most conditions for sure, knowing that I ride in mostly small, lighter wind and small condition anyway. But I know when it does get a bit bigger, this foil will handle it for sure. So in terms of like downwind subfoiling, I've been using this one a lot, and I think it gives a great indication of the foil in general compared to winging, where winging you have more power, so sometimes you don't necessarily rely too much on the foil or on the low end of the foil. I've been really able to like test the pumping, test the glide, test the turning, isolating, riding the foil, for like just through like downwind subfoiling. To me, it's just a great combination of everything. It is going to be a tiny bit more technical to pump than the 980. The 980 is so forgiving. Even if you don't necessarily have a great pumping technique, it's gonna handle it. This one, of course, because it has more speed, it's gonna be a bit more. You might make it stall a bit easier than the 980. But honestly, it's still an easy foil to pump. I have been using it with the 74 Red Devil mast. To me, this mast is amazing. Definitely not going to any other Sabfoil mast after that one. It's stiff, it's thin. Only downside is it's gonna be a bit heavier just because it's full carbon all the way through compared to the Puma, which has a foam core. But in terms of stiffness, absolutely no going back. This is what I need, especially for downwind subfoiling when you are pumping and everything. The air-head connection, I think it's again, it's a more like solid connection, maybe a bit more bulky, but I would rather compromise on that and gain on stiffness. And then in terms of stabilizer, I've been on the 325. I also spent some time on the 370, but overall I prefer the 325 because it just gives it a bit more speed and a bit more turning ability. So that's the perfect combo with the 653 fuselage. To me, that's been my go-to, and it works really in most conditions. It's a really fun size for wing foiling in lighter condition, and for downwind subfoiling, it's literally the one size that I could make it work from barely anything to decent size. I know I'm going to have fun. I know I'm going to get up and it's going to be a good experience. If you are coming from the 980 and you are questioning whether you should go to 975, if you feel like you want something a bit more performance than the 980, the 975 is amazing. If you've been riding mostly bigger foils, I still think, like maybe let's say 1300, 1500, I still think this one is going to be a good step down from that. So if you are only used to bigger foils, the 980 is still going to be great for you. If you are used to riding smaller foils, then for sure the 975 is going to give you a bit more performance, and you will be able to handle it. So at first I kind of thought I'm going to still use both, the 975 for when it's a bit better and the 980 when it's light, and with a bit of time I've been able to make the 975 work in any condition. So now it's become literally like if it's rideable, the 975 is going to work. And then as it gets better, maybe I get a smaller foil that has more top end or depending on what I'm looking for. But in terms of like light to medium condition, the Razor Pro 975 has been my go-to. I'm not going to go too much into the specs of everything. If you click on the link in the description, you're gonna get access to the page, the product page, and you will see all of the stats. I'm not necessarily big on geeking on all of the stats of a foil. To me, I just get on it, I try it, and then I go more by feeling. So to me, again, this has been like one of the foil. Like if you look through my social media, I've been using it tons. I have no obligation of riding this foil. I just absolutely love it. So I think you might love it as well. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have tried it, please let us know in the comments your impression, because that is my personal opinion. But it's always, if somebody is like watching this video because they are interested in buying it, it's nice to see in the comments some other feedback. Because maybe I am wrong about some things, but to me I absolutely love it. And now we are going to leave you with a positive note. Get out there, no matter what, there is always something fun to do on the water. Share that experience with your family, with your friends. We are like so lucky to be able to do this amazing sport, and we should not take it for granted and always be grateful to get out there regardless of the condition. Even if it's light and you're expecting more, remember that this is something that we get to do that's amazingly fun, and we need to be grateful for it every day. So thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in the next video.